So we are very proud when I see people come in. They're from Toledo, Ohio, or New Orleans, or Nashville, Asheville, wherever they happen to come from, and they're shocked that Bristol has a place like this. I moved to the Tri-Cities in '03, went to college at UT, moved up here after college, met my wife, and then moved to Bristol proper in '08. And been here ever since. We love it. It's home. We've set up our roots here. She's from about 2 hours north, I'm from about 3 hours east, and so it's perfect distance. And we've really grown to love this area. I was in road construction. I was a road construction inspector for about 15 years, and my company had me traveling, and we decided that this was going to be that Bristol needed this, and that it was time for me to do this. We had talked about it long enough. As far as what I buy a lot of beer that I don't like, but I can appreciate all the beer. That's the key, that knowing what's good. It may not be your style. It's like music, Not everybody's gonna like Backstreet Boys or Michael Jackson, but there was a reason why they're popular. And you just have to learn to appreciate that. And so I have found ways to try these beers and sample these beers that may not exactly be my preference, but for every beer behind me, that's somebody's favorite beer. It truly is. And I gotta remember, I'm not buying it for me, I'm buying it for the people. And so we do make sure we get a good quality product and very diverse. So we have beers, ciders, seltzers, meads from all over. We've got German, the country, the state. I tell people I'm not really buying the brewery per se. Lots of things go into the cat, but I want to get the beer that fits the menu of what I need. So it's very important what that brewery is, who owns it. That goes into my account, but I'm really buying beer to fit my menu. I pay attention to what's selling. So besides the obvious point of tasting what I like and watching numbers of the consumers, I have an app here that I'm able to track when our customer base is drinking, and then I can compare those numbers to locally and regionally. And so I pay attention to those numbers. I pay attention to the news, I get Google alerts when some different stuff in the news happens. So I've got my ear down on the scene. I like to know what's going on, not just with the flavor of beer, but within the whole industry itself. What's going to be next, who's doing what, who got bought, who got sold. So it's paying attention, talking to the reps, having those relationships. So I juggle, and that's my hobby, I juggle. And beer and juggling were two of my passions. And so I was thinking, I had 2 pages of notes on what I was going to name this place, and I just didn't know. I was going back and forth. And then it hit me, Cascade. And if you think about the foam on a Guinness when it's settling on a nitrous beer, it's referred to as cascading. The waterfalls, the 40 taps, Cascade. The most common hop found in beer is the Cascade hop, and the most common juggling pattern is the figure 8 called the Cascade. It just came together. It was awesome. One of those eureka moments. So this isn't a clown bar, but it's we definitely support the arts here for sure. There's some subtle nods to the cap of juggling here, but you'll have to find those yourself. Well, I knew that Bristol didn't have anything like this. That was number one, and it's what I want. Is what I wanted. This is the type of place that I want to hang out at, and I didn't have that here. I knew that you could go to Johnson City and Kingsport and you could get growlers filled at the gas stations or at grocery stores. You could go in and get it. We didn't have any of that here. We could go to the breweries on the Virginia side, but you're getting their beer. So my job had me traveling, and I was going to do this at a much smaller level, and where they had me traveling, we have a son now. It all found this location. Everything just aligned to where we were going to go all in and be open 7 days a week versus in a shopping center open 3 days a week or 12 hours. So I went all in, came downtown, and never looked back. We have 40 rotating draft beers, craft beers. That gets really important to me, that it's craft and family owned, locally owned. All that stuff really plays a part in my ordering of what I pick out. We also have package to go. We fill growlers, we fill crowlers, we fill, if people want to bring their own growler in, we can fill that. As far as I know, we're the only permitted place in Bristol, Tennessee that offers that service. We've recently been approved for delivery, so we are a one-stop shop for all your craft beer needs. I love going to breweries, I love trying breweries, I love making those relationships, but I'll also sit in front of my menu board and I keep an ongoing list of what I looked at the previous week and the week before that and what I need this week, and I'll carry that over. The distributors will send me their inventory list once a week on Monday morning, and I'll take a look at that and compare what's new, what do I need, what fits the menu of what Cascade needs at the time. I don't want to buy too much of one thing, and I want to keep a good diverse group of crafts. So we've got ciders, sours, barrel-aged, meads, of course lagers, IPAs, stouts, porters, browns, blondes, the list goes on and on. So we've got 40 tabs, but we try and keep those constantly rotating and give the people what they want. All my distributors are in the state of Tennessee. So I've got one in Knoxville, one out of Cleveland, Nashville, but they are all they're licensed for here. Then we've got the two big ones here, here locally. But there's 5, and it's a job keeping up with them, especially in the cooler and the tight space. But we do it. We have our system. The more the merrier. We're averaging about 3 kegs a day of changing out our 40. So roughly 20 kegs a week will be new every week. So we take a lot of pride in that. And they're our favorites, and we do bring them back. It's not to say we won't ever have that beer again. We just rotate it out and rotate it back in. And it is different for people that do like to settle in on their favorite beer, but also we like to say that we're going to replace it with something equally or better. Give it a try, and you may be surprised at what's out there. So there is an exact number of what would make a craft beer, and it's down to the amount of barrels that brewery produces per year. It does keep rising because Sam Adams wants to remain craft, but most of the breweries around here would fall into the category of macro brewery, which is a little bit smaller than what actually a microbrewery would even be. But it's a matter of getting that distribution. I have 5 distributors that I work with, And so unless they're completely independent and in the state of Tennessee, I have to buy them through those distributors. And it's a relationship working with the brewery, the beer reps, the distributors, the distributor rep, and myself. So it's a team effort. I go and visit as many breweries as I can. Anytime we're out of town, my travel always starts with where's the brewery. Then I also meet with the distributor reps and talk with the distributors on what's coming up available, what's around the horizon. Right now we're planning all our Oktoberfest and pumpkin beers and getting that ready, and then we'll be planning our stouts and raspberry, we'll get Valentine beers ready, and then it'll be St. Patrick's Day. So you're always planning a couple months ahead on what's going to be available and making those arrangements, because they do go, some of them do go fast. And then with the local beer reps, we definitely have a relationship with them, with the brewery reps themselves. They have reps out in the field, or the brewer, depending on the size of the brewery. But I definitely make myself available to them. I say I'm the brewer's best friend. So I want to expose anything that they want to take a try at, or sample, or experiment, or I'm that guy. And my crowd, my clientele, will let them know an honest opinion on what they think. We have some serious beer drinkers that come through here. It's awfully proud to see the amount of travel that we see, the people that are coming here just for the beer experience, craft experience, better yet. So, lots of people have tried mead that they've never had mead before. They didn't know they liked mead. Same thing with the sour beers. People that typically like wine or a spritzer, these sour beers, they've never had them before. They've never been exposed to them. It's totally new, and they love them. So I love seeing the smile on their face for exposing them to something new and letting the brewers do. Typically that's not going to be their number one sell. They can't sell that to a lot of the places that are mass selling beer, but a niche place like here, it fits in beautifully. So we're open 7 days a week. Again, that was something that I had worked a schedule where I was working nights or I was working weekends, and so I was not the typical Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So it was important to me to be open at those hours for those people that didn't have the ability to go on a Friday night at 8 o'clock. So we're open 7 days a week at 2 p.m., open daily at 2 p.m. And we take a lot of pride in being open 7 days a week. That's something that's very important to us. Delivery wasn't on my radar when I opened this, but I definitely needed to have packaged sales to go off premise. And like I said before, we're not reinventing the wheel. It was something that the city was eager to work with me on doing. Somebody just needed to take an initiative and start making that happen. And so they were very willing and able to work with me, and we got it done. So that was pretty cool. And then a month later, 2 months later, the pandemic hit, and everybody started doing delivery. But where we don't serve food, it was kind of a tricky gray situation, because the delivery, the way the governor's orders came down, were for food, but you could throw in alcohol. Well, so anyway, we had to jump through those hoops, and about 3 weeks later, we did get it figured out. And since then, I've had a permanent permit added, where I do have off-premise permit, delivery, and on-premise consumption. We do offer it. Since things have opened up, it's died down a whole lot on the amount of sales that we get from delivery, but we're definitely legal to do it. Right now, we've got music 7 days a week, which is pretty exciting, and I'm booked out 7 months right now for my weekends, and I've got the rest of the year booked 6 days a week. And so there's so much talent in this area. It's just amazing. Never ceases to amaze me, the talent that's in this area. And I've got a great stage and provide an excellent sound system for them. So it creates a fun environment. And I alluded to before, it's a team effort on my side, my business side, with the distributors, the brewers, the reps, but it's just as much as a team effort with the musicians, myself, the food trucks, the artists. It's all coming together to make a great experience for the consumer. We have a hot dog cart that we run ourselves when we don't have a food truck, and I try and have a food truck as much as possible. The hot dog cart is to supplement when we don't have a food truck. But they're great. They've come such a long ways with the food that they can make in those kitchens on the food truck, and it's high quality stuff. Well, we're constantly learning here. We want to get better here, but there's definitely stuff in the pipeline that I would like to do. I feel like we have a great product. I feel like there's momentum, and I'd like to share this. Absolutely. You know, we like to say everyone's welcome here. So we want to expose these people and teach these people, but also we hold our head high on where we stand with the beer lovers and the craft beer connoisseurs, the cicerones, if you will. So I'm very proud when I see people come in. They're from Toledo, Ohio, or New Orleans, or Nashville, Asheville, wherever they happen to come from, and they're shocked that Bristol has a place like this. That really makes me, it's what I was wanting. But also I want it to be open to the locals and the place that they want to come here for a date night or try something new, that it's open and refreshing and welcoming to anybody. The other day somebody asked me about competition, and I don't have any competition down here. It's teamwork. I'm on a team with these people. I want everything to be vibrant. I want there to be a line outside the breweries, the comedy club, the theaters. I want the restaurants to be full with reservations. So it really is a team effort. But I do have great relationships with the people down here where I can call them and say, hey, you've got a couple from St. Louis that's going to be coming in to see you tonight. Let me buy them a beer. And vice versa, same thing. They can happily send them. We support each other, so they know what this place is like, the vibe, who's going to be a good fit here, and enjoy themselves. It's great. I love seeing people come here for the first time, but it's also it's great to see them come a second time, and especially the tourists that only have a limited time here. And there's a lot of places to come down here when they come twice because they've been recommended. That's pretty special.